Hey guys, hi YouTube. So this topic is a little different from what I usually do. It's not an outfit of the day kind of thing, but more of something that I'm just trying out and see how you guys respond to it. So for some people that don't know, I've been in a relationship for about 6 years and a half, I think. And a lot of people always tell me, "Oh my gosh, you're so lucky. You have a good man in your life. Like, how did that happen? How did you do it?" And all this stuff. And I'm like, it takes work and God is in there somewhere. But I'm going to share with you guys some of the things I think help a relationship stay and kind of keep a long-term relationship. These are the things I've learned and I'm learning. Our relationship is not perfect at all, but it's solid. You know what I mean? Like it feels like finally I'm finding somebody that I see myself with for a longer term than 6 years now. You know, like I don't know, it's a good feeling. So one of the first things I want to say is know yourself, know your baggages, know your dreams, know your weaknesses, strengths, and all that when you go into a relationship, especially when it's long term. What I mean by that is like when you know your weaknesses, like me, I have a temper and I get mad like really fast. And that's something that when I was getting into a relationship, I knew about. So I was like, okay, you got to find a way to work on that because you can't get mad at all times. So that's my weaknesses. One of my strengths is I'm always on time with everything in my life. Like I really never miss deadlines. So that's my strength. My boyfriend, on the other hand, like his strength is just seeing the bigger pictures of things. Like he'll see a situation, he'll pull from different parts of it and figure out what the bigger issue is, what the bigger picture is, and that kind of thing. I can't do that. Like I'm all over the place. So when we come together, it's like it all works. And baggage, like no, like when I got into a relationship, I had this thing about guys just being jerks and being really bitter. Like I was like angry, really deep down. Like I was like not ready to meet another person. And I then asked my boyfriend, I was like, "How are you different from all the rest?" You know? And he had to convince me like he was worth, more. And so that's what I mean. Know what you're carrying around and what are some of your issues that you're carrying around because you don't want to pass that on to the next person. A lot of people do that and it's really bad. And I'm trying. I'm working on it. I'm still working on it for me to see him for who he is, for the amazing guy that he is, and not think, oh, well, you deep down, you're pretty like the typical guy. So I had to let that go. So know yourself. Another one is just keep in your mind when you start meeting somebody and you see long term that it's going to be a lot of work, emotional, physical, physical. And it just takes a lot on you because you have your other stuff going on in life, but this is also another part of something that you want to work on. You can't be focusing on work and forgetting about your relationship. It's like you have to be able to find a balance and know that you have to put in effort. You can't just say, well, I have a girlfriend and I'll just keep on with whatever I've been doing and like not remember that she's there kind of thing. Like you have to know that that person exists and you have to acknowledge that they're there and you can't just be like, well, I'm busy with work, so forget you. That's not a relationship because that's where you really find out who wants to be with you in the long term. Um, so be aware that it's just a lot of work. There's different parts of it. Everybody has different things that they have to work on, and it's a lot of work. The next thing I know definitely works is spending time away. People think that being in a relationship is like constantly near each other, cuddling and kissing and all that stuff every freaking day. Trust me, no. You want to keep yourself away from the other person as much as you can so that they actually miss you. If you're always there, how can they miss you? Like I feel like sometimes when we live in different places, so when I'm gone for the few days, like when we come back to each other, it's like we actually miss each other. It's not like, oh, it's your face again. Like you feel that. So I think you need time away from the person, whether it's you're traveling. Sometimes work and school will do that to you, so you may not see each other often, especially if you don't live together. So find a way to keep your space. If you're married, you gotta really find your space and do something else and come back to each other. So that would be definitely works. The next one is do random things and spontaneous things. The routine gets boring. Trust me. The first year, it's all exciting, different things. The minute you start getting longer term, you kind of do routine things, and usually because your schedules and you got a lot of stuff going on, and you just find yourself doing things like, oh, maybe going to the same restaurant every day, and you're like, ew, it gets routine and it gets boring. So that's why you got to throw things that are different in, and it doesn't mean you have to spend money. You just have to find other ways of doing the same thing. Maybe get dressed up really well for the evening. going out to dinner, and another one, go to a different location, like another city, have a road trip, to a restaurant. So that's definitely something that works. Every day, if you can, try to find something that the person likes and try to do something for them that's helpful, that's nice. My boyfriend's schedule is crazy. Mine is not as crazy. So, for example, one of the things I usually do for him is his homework. Like, I'll help him with anything that I can. And he sometimes cooks like his food and he will drive to drop it off for me. So that's really helpful. Um, he also likes movies. I'm not a big movie fanatic. Like, I'll watch certain movies. I'm really picky about movies, but I'll watch a movie and we'll watch that together, kind of thing. So it's like we're both kind of, yeah. I don't like sports, but eventually I'm gonna have to watch sports because he likes sports. So that kind of thing. I hate it, you guys. I hate sports, but I'm gonna have to learn how to love it because we gotta do something for the other person. You can't just be all about you and me. It just doesn't work. Um, Let's see. I wrote down the list so I can actually see what about you. Yeah, the other thing is the relationship is not about you. It's not about me. You have to let that go. And that's something if you're not comfortable with doing, then you're not ready for it because you're giving a part of yourself kind of, and you're trying to work with this other person and trying to come at some kind of a balance. And it can be difficult, because some people have their head held up high that it's all about me, and they come into relationships like, oh, I have to let go of what? I have to be more like tone down certain things. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. So it's not ready. Um, so it's not about you. It's about both of you. And if you want something long term, you got to do that. You just have no way to be about me in the long term. It doesn't work. The next thing is communication, of course. You have to talk. You have to talk about everything, and be comfortable enough to share deep stuff that other people might not know about you. Um, like the person has to kind of know your weaknesses and strengths as well. You discuss it and you talk about it. When you get mad at each other, like go take a breather and come back and say, you know what, I was angry because you did this and that. It's like psychology stuff, but it keeps things going because you can argue and have some issues at one point or another, and you have to figure out how you're going to talk about it and calm down. Me, I have a temper, as I already said, so that's one of the things I'm so hard for me. Like, I get mad and I run with it. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, and I bottle it all in, and it builds up, and I have to. Maybe another day I'll come back and talk to you, but it's like it takes a while. And my boyfriend's the giggly part. Like, he'll laugh and try to make jokes to get me back to stop being angry. So it's kind of hard, you guys, but it's working that way. And so that's one of the things I've learned is communicate as much as you can. You have to speak about everything you're thinking, kind of, because if you say, well, I'll just assume he knows or she knows, it doesn't work. You have to actually say it because sometimes men and women are different in that way. We are just different. So we have to communicate. Yeah. Um, and what else did I have? And really just enjoy each other. And let the person know that you love them. Love is something, I love you is not something I throw around too much. I really am not that type, like, and my boyfriend is neither, so that's something we have in common. Um, don't just say I love you every chance you get, like kind of thing. Say it because something stirs it within you. Like I've seen people throw that word around and I really hate it. I say it when I really want to say it. I don't say it just because you're supposed to say it. No. I say it when I feel it, and we both have that in common. So, yeah. The next thing is discuss your goals and dreams. This is really important, you guys. Usually, you should start knowing if you feel like what you're in is going to be long term. And usually, the other person or one person will say it and say, you know what, I see us going somewhere, kind of thing. If you don't hear that and you want something long term, then you gotta go because that person not on the same page with you. An example was my ex who was wonderful, but we were on this different page. I was getting excited about having a relationship, and he was kind of like excited with things kind of not being a relationship. It was kind of like, I can't explain. It was like, I want this, and he really doesn't care. So we were on different pages, and I was like, the whole time it was me planning the relationship or what I wanted. So that didn't work out. I just ended it myself because I was like, that's not what I want. I wanted something long term, and I was like, no, this is not going anywhere. So I ended it. So yeah, goals. Where do you see yourself in the future? What plans do you guys want to do together? What are some things you want to accomplish together? Um, you know, what what do you dream about? What are your dreams? What do you have to share all this with the person so they know, and at least they're on the same page. If you want kids, for example, do they want kids? Because you don't want to be hanging out with somebody for 7 years, 10 years plus, and you find out they never want a kid. You should have been talking about that already. Um, a lot of people sometimes get scared of talking about like what they want and all that. And I think when you are in a long term, you got to speak. I'm telling you guys, it's work. And I'm learning because for me, I was always ready to run kind of girl. Like if things were kind of getting, a little comfortable, I would just run. But now it's like I'm feeling that good about this relationship, and I really want to put effort and work into it. I really want to. So yeah, I just want to share that with you guys, and please share some of your tips if you're in a relationship, like what as is working for you that's keeping it going. And I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. So I'll see you guys in the next video.